Ikaros is a spell-heavy invoker who excels at precision attacks. Ikaros' empowered spell is Invoke Stardust, which damages and disables towers in a target area. The disabled towers cannot attack or use super shots, and the disabling effect is only removed when the towers take damage. Invoke Stardust is best used to disable dangerous towers while the dragon focuses on other threats. Mage towers are particularly important targets, as Ikaros has a number of powerful colored spells that should be enabled as fast as possible. Ikaros' next spell is Starry Night, which blocks all incoming elemental damage and restores some health on cast. Starry Night has both a short cooldown and duration. The former allows the spell to be spammed for frequent healing, while the latter requires careful timing to reliably block damage. For even more defense, Ikaros has Gravity Warp, which briefly dodges all non-beam attacks and massively damages nearby towers after a short delay. Casting Gravity Warp also instantly reloads Ikaros' Invoker ammo, allowing the dragon to quickly cast Invoke Stardust multiple times. Gravity Warp is Ikaros' only reactive protection from Mage Tower super shots. Invoke Stardust can prevent Mage Towers from attacking, but the dragon has no other means to stop a mid-air super shot. Ikaros should save Gravity Warp for key moments, instead relying on Starry Night for the bulk of the dragon's survivability. Ikaros' final spell is Super Galvanic Overload, which is cast in two parts. The first cast fires a high-damage projectile at a target tower. If this attack destroys the tower, the spell can be recast to restore some rage in exchange for the dragon's health. Super Galvanic Overload is essential for fueling Ikaros' spellcasting. The extra rage generated from destroying towers allows the dragon to spam Starry Night, and thus Gravity Warp can be saved for important reactive defenses or Invoke Stardust combos. Quasar brings the primordial might of the stars to war dragons, and its destructive powers unparalleled. Quasar's first ability is the passive Nebula Beam, which increases the dragon's breath damage the longer it remains on target, up to a cap. If Quasar stops damaging towers, or if the dragon is stunned, Nebula Beam's bonus damage will reset and need to build up again. Quasar's main defensive spell is Black Hole, which absorbs all incoming projectile attacks and massively damages nearby towers. Black Hole can effectively block Mage Tower super shots and Crystal Howitzer hits, but beware of lightning and dark flak towers. The former can cut through Black Hole's defenses, and the latter will disrupt the dragon's damage output. Quasar's next defensive spell is Event Horizon, which restores rage on cast and makes the dragon invincible for a short duration. After the shield expires, healing marks are applied to all nearby towers, which restore health when destroyed. Quasar's final spell is Solar Flare, which damages and briefly freezes all nearby towers. Solar Flare is best used to disrupt Mage Tower super shots, but the spell can also be spammed to lock down a dangerous island. Quasar is an incredibly powerful dragon, but its spells all have long cooldowns. The different defensive layers need to be staggered to properly protect Quasar throughout battle. If an ability is cancelled or cast too soon, Quasar will find itself without the means to survive. Teleriac is an offensive sorcerer with a mix of destructive and disabling power. Teleriac's main offensive spell is Cold Snap, which damages and freezes all towers in a target area. Cold Snap freezes towers for quite some time, so the spell is excellent for locking down threatening towers while you deal with other dangers. Cold Snap can also protect Teleriac from Mage Towers, as freezing the tower while the super shot is midair will nullify the Rage Drain effect. Teleriac's next spell is Celestial Justice, which empowers the dragon's breath attack to deal more damage and briefly freeze towers. Celestial Justice allows Teleriac to disrupt many towers at once by interrupting tower attack animations and nullifying any midair projectiles. Celestial Justice allows Teleriac to disrupt many towers at once by interrupting tower attack animations and nullifying any midair projectiles, just like Cold Snap. Teleriac's different freeze effects cannot stack, however, and applying one freeze to a tower will not remove or refresh any existing freeze effects. On the defensive side, Teleriac has Supernova, which restores rage on cast, damages nearby towers, and briefly makes the dragon invincible. Supernova is Teleriac's only means of healing, so the spell's cooldown should be carefully managed to keep the dragon alive. Notably, Supernova can always be cast for its healing effects, as red mage towers will only block the spell's damage. Teleriac's final spell is Icy Fracture, which heavily damages towers in a small target area and restores rage on cast. The spell cannot be spammed due to its longer cooldown, so it is best saved for destroying high-threat towers like Mage Towers and Crystal Howitzers. Zelnoth is a surgical hunter with high single target damage. Zelnoth's main offensive spell is Siphon Strike, which massively damages towers in a small target area and restores health on cast. Siphon Strike is an excellent tool for destroying problematic towers, enabling the dragon's colored spells, and triggering one of Zelnoth's abilities, Star Eater, which begins battle as a passive. Whenever Zelnoth destroys a tower, Star Eater transforms into the Empty Void, which cloaks Zelnoth briefly. During the cloak's duration, Zelnoth can attack and use consumables without breaking the spell. When the cloak ends, Zelnoth damages nearby towers, and the Empty Void reverts back to Star Eater and can be transformed again by destroying another tower. Zelnoth's next spell is Slayer's Mark, which marks a target tower. If the marked tower is destroyed, Zelnoth restores some health and rage. Slayer's Mark has no rage cost and can be easily triggered with Siphon Strike, resulting in a massive heal and rage refund. Zelnoth's final ability is another passive spell, Void Touch, which empowers Zelnoth's breath attack to debuff any damaged towers. The affected towers take increased damage from Zelnoth's attacks, increasing the potency of both its breath barrage and Siphon.